Yes, we are about to have an absolute in-depth conversation about my man, 100 Grand, one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest fighter, not pure boxer, not just a mogul in the sport, but fighter of all times. He could do it going left. He can do it going right. Manny Pacquiao is conversation today, and I thank you all for taking the time to chime in and get it popping with us on the Fight Show special edition. Manny Pacquiao, and I don't get into too many of the Fight Show deals, but Manny Pacquiao obviously is retired now. He can get focused on his career at hand. So we're gonna just kind of go over some conversation about what was your truest moments with Pacquiao. I'm gonna go over what now is his fossil, which is the fossil is the imprint of what he left behind and what exactly was that. So hopefully you want to hear a little bit about the details of his skill set and overall ring prowess. That's exactly what we're going to do today. So hope you're chilling. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I see we got several people watching now. Let us know where you're checking us out from. All my people are usually popping in, and especially when it's about talking about one of the greatest to ever do it and the way he did it. And I can take it back to 2003 when I first saw him against one of my favorite fighters, Marco Antonio Barrera, just coming off of a series of amazing epic fights against Eric El Terrible Morales, who's, like I said, he's my top of the list. Nastiest offense, nastiest aggressive mentality. He had the Manasseh Mauler mentality. That's Eric Morales, that is. Going heads up with, like I said, one of my favorite bangers in Barrera. And Barrera was at the top of the food chain. What's up, Chan? Fam, we got Chaz Woodson in the building from Richmond, Virginia. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for checking in. When I saw that this kid came on the scene and Barrera, was taking the fight, and when Manny Pacquiao came in, he had been brought to Freddie Roach's gym, and everybody knows that Freddie Roach is from the downline of Eddie Futch. He had a fighting career, but it wasn't that glamorous. But what was glamorous was the knowledge that he pulled away from Eddie Futch. Now, when that fight took shape, the first round, you could tell this kid had something special. And Manny Pacquiao is that guy. And when they rung that bell before the second round, you could tell that this wasn't just going to be a fight. This is going to be a blowout. And when you saw it, it was just one-sided. Pacquiao was hitting him so often and so consistent that he fell down one time. And that shows you the dominance of Pacquiao. If you don't know his reputation, you've never been in a ring with him, it's something you can't adapt to in one night. What's going on, my man Edwin Santana? You watching from BX? What's good with you, buddy? Thanks for chiming in, man. We chopping it up on Manny Pacquiao, and he was one of the greatest. And we had opportunity to work with Manny in training camp at the peak of his career when he was blazing cats. So knowing a lot about what it's like to work with him and train against him and all of those things that you just can't see on video, that's what Barrera was exposed to. And then he got in the ring. The next time he fought, everybody kind of knew this dude was something, because you just don't beat a Marco Antonio Barrera. You just don't beat that guy. He wasn't over the hill. He wasn't in his prime, but he wasn't over the hill. So then he got in there against another great, and that's when he got in there against Marquez, and the same thing was taking shape. And until this day, I still believe they should have stopped it in the first round, because he dropped them 3 times, and just by chance they had lifted the 3 knockdown rule. And not only did they not have the 3 knockdown rule, but one of the judges didn't even score the 10-6 round, because he said it'd be too much of a deficit. Well, that wasn't his fault. So no matter what you thought about that fight, Pacquiao won on points if you go by the rules. Each time you knock him down, that it's supposed to be a point, but the judge decided he didn't want to make it a 10-6. Like, what kind of judging is that? That's just like, giving somebody the victory in a race because he just tried hard, so you decided to give it to him. There's no, bonus points. That was just crazy to me. So I don't know. I think that was one of the moments that I realized this kid is so good that the game's going to work against him. Fortunately, it didn't do that again. But for the most part, that ended up being, once again, a 4-fight, battle of attrition with Marco Antonio Barrera. I mean, with why am I calling him Marco Antonio Barrera? But Jesus, somebody help me out. I'm freaking forgetting his name. Marquez ended up winning the 4th fight by knockout, because I would have called that being more of a 2-2 kind of battle. I think he did win the 3rd and came back and fought, and then really won the 4th by one of the most unexpected knockouts in boxing history. So that was definitely the thing. What's up, D-boy, the boy? It's all good, man. Where you shouting out from? What's up, Doug? Doug Howley in the building. All right. I don't know where that's at, but it's always good. My man Bobby Aday, School of Boxing, Sheffield, Alabama. What's good, man? It's good to see you. Welcome to the special edition of the Pac-Man Show, because this is what it is. But just having those guys battle in the fight, and I don't know, when you think about how Manny Pacquiao really stormed onto the scene, then he got in the ring with Eric Morales. And what I'm going to get into now is the amazing ability that Pacquiao had. The ability to stutter step with speed and close the gap against longer fighters. One of the tougher things to do in any fight is to close the gap, to close the distance. And Manny Pacquiao could do it better than anybody, man. He could create that. He can just eliminate the gap, boom, in a blink of an eye. And in our sparring, what's up, Doug Howley? New Zealand in the building. It's good to see you. Special shouts out to New Zealand. But his ability to do it gave trainers fits, just like a great defensive back or a quarterback who runs the ball well, like Michael Vick and guys like Lamar Jackson. They just have that ability to just give you a fit. And Manny Pacquiao, he could just close the game. I mean, he got in the ring with Antonio Margarita, and Margarita was a ghost. People were afraid to get in the ring with him. And when he took that fight, it was like, how's this dude going to close the gap on him? And all it was, once again, those stutter steps, stepping around off the pivot, breaking them down. He was just an absolute savage beast. What's up going on, my man, Mr. Godfrey Vibu, what's good, man? Where you from? Leave your place down. And the legacy of Pacquiao, when you start to see his abilities take form and what it was that he gave the game. He never took a shortcut. He brought the smoke. He introduced the shorter fighter, the ability to use different techniques to close the gap. Now he was born gifted. He had speed, quickness, understood how to get to the spot and how to throw punches and bunches. And it's unfortunate that most guys don't know how to do that. But when you are developing an athlete, you got to think twice about what it takes to actually be that dude that can develop himself. This is what we teach. How can I get to a point that I can do it in training, but then I can do it in the ring? That's the big thing. A lot of people can copy it. All you got to do is be athletic and persistence. Dubai, special shouts out to Dubai, Mr. Godfrey. And when you have that ability to take a serious, let me see what you're saying. Oh, okay. Round 10 Boxing Club. Very cool. Special shouts out to them for having, it was good that you represent them. That must be mean you must be having a good experience. But what we are talking about really sends the lights a candle on how we train our guys to not only learn the skill, but have the process in which it shows you the clear picture and time frame, how to transfer it into the ring, because those are two different things. I saw a great post that said a lot of trainers think once they learn how to do flashy mitt work, that shows a fighter how to be a fighter, and it doesn't. It actually works against them. It shows them how to be a show off, and they don't understand and don't take into consideration what it really takes to be a fighter inside of the ring, not a fighter in front of the mirror, but a fighter that actually can fight, brings the offense and the defensive prowess that it takes to be seen in a place. Pacquiao was able to learn the techniques on throwing punches, so you're not in a position to get countered, because his style, he throws so much that it's easy for a fighter to think that that's how you can always be, have a great offense and that's your defense. But Freddie Roach taught him the magnificent technique of getting off to the side, creating the angle. That takes training. That takes redundancy. It takes a period of time for a guy to really understand how many take drills and what's necessary and required for you to do that. So we got to just say and tip our caps to Manny for showing and leaving that blueprint for the shorter fighter, in a guy who just does not have the ability to throw and deliver his punches the way that he would like. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that y'all take it. If you're a trainer, make sure you let me know you're a trainer by putting your stuff down. Let me know. Give me some thumbs up, because you are the guy that's responsible to not only have flashy mitt work, but show these guys how to fight inside of the ring. And until you're able to do that, you'll never understand what this sport of boxing truly does and what it really will give you if you do it right, my friend. And having a charity fight here in New Zealand, East Coast, can you explain the mechanics stutter step of Manny Pacquiao. And so this is what it is. This is where because you're learning, right? So of course you don't know, but the trainers try to explain it to people in one conversation, where there are not only conversations, there's the practical that go behind it. So if I tell you, that means we actually have to go through the clinic for the practical, because you're going to do it wrong for a pretty good amount of time. And then you come back another day and we make enough corrections, then you'll have it just wrong when you start to get exhausted, or just having to adjust a mechanic or two. And then you have to develop muscle memory. So then that's week in and week out. Stutter stepping is throwing the timing off, the defensive timing of your opposition. So you do a jerk, double, or you can triple them. But they continuously have to be different stutters, because a person will adopt that rhythm and then he can adjust to you. It takes years to become a very successful stutter step boxer. Sugar Shane Mosley could do it. There are a lot of guys, like Muhammad Ali, he did the shuffle. So once again, that's a form of a stutter. He made you think he was coming, then he stopped and then go from positioning to stabbing you. And he always said he had 14-inch like hands. I float like a butterfly, but I sting like a bee. Pop, 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 pop. Because when you get hit with big hands like that, you don't have to punch hard. It's going to hurt. And that was the reason why he said that. So fortunately, I'm able to break that down for you. So hope that makes sense. But when you see Muhammad Ali, you see Pacquiao, they're masters when it can't come down to stutter stepping. So those are clinics. That's why we have in-house workshops or virtual workshops for the people who take and use our program, because you can't just see it once and get it. You can have a rendition of it when you see it, but it's not going to be right, because there's a visual way that you can have it right by it looks like you got the mechanics, and then there's a practical way, and then there's a way that you can actually do it in a fight. I hope that makes sense. But they're not the same thing, even though they may look similar ways. All right, so they're different products when it's all said and done. So keep that in mind. It's a savage, man, learning boxing. That's why everybody can't box. They think they can box until you go to a boxing gym, then you realize I'm not even a horrible boxer. All right, what's up, Anthony Gambita, Cleveland, Ohio, Collinwood. Special shouts out to Collinwood, Cleveland, Ohio. Anthony, welcome, brother. One of you all, what's up? I can't say your name, it's all them constants, but you got that 666 up there at the end. Jim Whitley, Muhammad Ali was the greatest, was my man when he let his hands go. Yeah, he was about that life. You're welcome, Doug. Absolutely, man. And that's the concept of stutter stepping in any skill. The most basic of skills takes much more than what you see. And being able to replicate it is one thing. Actually being able to duplicate it and emulate it and then utilize it in situations, those are all different lessons. That's why you can't just take a fighter and turn him into a trainer, because he has all practical. He doesn't understand the teaching process. Therefore, most fighters won't be teachers. They'll have advice. They'll be that guy, but the teacher has to have a cerebral approach in educating. That's why even all trainers won't be teachers. People can train you on how to do certain mechanics and things, but ingraining it into muscle memory and being able to create a product is an entirely different thing. A fighter, a prize fighter, those are special abilities. So that's it, man. So We leave it there. If you all are looking into a position where you're trying to learn, make sure you connect with us and educate yourself the right way so you'll understand this entire confusing thing of boxing, because you hear somebody say one thing and then you go over there and you go somewhere else and they're saying something totally different. That's because they all have different systems, different sciences and physiologies. When you start to come on board in one place that has it all and teaches it all and can explain it all and it makes sense, that's kind of what you do. You find a fraternity to be a part of. So I'll leave you with that. Everything else is up to you. I hope you enjoyed just a few nuggets that I dropped. I had to do a little special edition for Manny Pacquiao, being that he's left so much with the sport. So until next time, continue blessing. Special shouts out to my brothers in the School of Boxing who are under the Top Trainer program, taking the game to the next level and elevating your boxing knowledge. We see you soon in the winner's circle. Peace out, man, and be blessed at Godspeed. Peace.